Hi and welcome back. In this lecture, we're going to talk about key insight 4 diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, or what we call DEI and B. So, DEI and B is basically all the policies that promotes representation and participation of different employee groups. So, it can be different ages, different nationalities, different religions, ethnicities, cultures, sexual orientations, and so much more. So, it's basically having a rich, diverse workforce so that you can have a lot of benefits in terms of representing people, giving more opportunities for people, ensuring that you have similar people who are like your customers within the company so that they are aware of factors like unconscious biases that they might have towards the product. So there are so many benefits when it comes to building a culture with diversity, equity, and belonging within the company. So now let's look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs to get a much more understanding why this is important. So if you look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, in the bottom we have the physiological needs. So these are the basic needs like air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, and reproduction. So on top of that we have the safety needs. So personal security, employment, resources, health, and prosperity. After that we have on top love and belonging. So friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection, feeling like you're a part of something bigger than yourself is important. Next, on top of that, we have esteem, so respect, self-esteem, status, recognition, strength, and freedom. And the pinnacle of it, or the topmost part of it, is self-actualization, or the desire to become the most that one can be, or be the best you can be. So not only it's about giving the safety needs of employment, job security, and that sort of a thing, companies are starting to realize that all the 5 elements of this pyramid matters. All 5 levels matters because it's all about giving the complete package and making the employees feel that they're part of something bigger than themselves and also that they have a voice to be heard. So why is diversity, equity, inclusivity, and belongingness is important? Well, it helps employees to feel safe, respected, and connected. So if you're a minority group, you will not feel that you're threatened or you will not feel that you're discriminated in the workplace. And also, employees will feel a sense of belonging as they feel connected to the purpose of the company and also something bigger than themselves. So employees will feel that they're part of something bigger than themselves rather than arguing over their sexual orientation, gender, religion, skin color, or that sort of aspect, because our uniqueness is what gives us value. Then we have the ability to reach a wider audience because consumers will feel much more relatable to the products and services that you are offering. Especially the minority groups, the discriminated groups, the differently abled people will feel that their company is actually representing themselves in the products and the services that they offer. Then able to deliver better results as DE&B driven companies become much more closer to a real world representation. So when you have a lot of diversity, when you have a lot of inclusivity and equity as well as belongingness within a company, you will have the right balance of the different people in the company so that in case you want to go through different products, get different opinions and create a much more richer and a much more delightful customer experience, you can do that internally by validating it amongst your employees first before going out to the market. And if you have a very diverse group of people, there's a good chance that the market will accept it if the internal group has passed it successfully and love your products and services. And also all these minority groups will be able to express their concerns, things like stereotyping that they might face in using the products and services. So factors like that can be considered, and maybe you see different perspectives. So all these aspects can be considered to come up with a much more solid set of products and services that the consumers love using every single day. Then we have factors like increased empathy, which translates to increased team building within the organization. So when you empathize with each other and when you genuinely care for each other and support each other's growth and values the contribution of each other, it transcends to increase team building within the organization, which will increase the performance of the organization. Then we have factors like increased employee retention and low turnover because people feel that they're valued and that the contribution that they're making towards the company's progress is appreciated. So there are a few aspects that the companies can do in order to promote and increase DEI&B culture in the workplace. So factors like the remote workforce. So with the COVID-19 pandemic, the trend of working from home will continue into the future. So having better work-life balance, access to healthcare, occupational health and safety in the workplace. So if you're working from home, you have the right lighting, the right seating available so that you don't have any kind of repetitive stress injuries like back injuries and neck injuries. So basically giving the same treatment as your physical office employees to remote working employees will increase the DEI&B factors in your business. Then we have things like diverse gender identity and gender expression. So increasing awareness on diverse gender identities and gender expressions. So having empathy towards each other and accepting each other as they are, as who they are, is very, very important. Then we have factors like multi-generational workforce working side by side. So if you look at the workforce, there are lots of people working from different generations. So generation X from 1965 to 1980. Then we have millennials who are from 1981 to 1996. We have Gen Z from 1997 to 2012. And then we have generation Alpha from around 2012 to 2025. So different generations grew up with different working environment, different economic conditions, and also technological adoption. So if you look at millennials, they are tech savvy along with Gen Z, but if you look at baby boomers and Gen X, they are not that tech savvy when it comes to keeping up with the latest and greatest technological trends. So there are factors like that as well which affect how people interact with the working environment. So if you look at the Gen X or people born from 1965 to 1980, they might need more additional training in order to keep up with the latest technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and all these kind of things. Whereas in general, millennials and Gen Zs will be able to quickly grasp the new technologies that's coming into the market. So there are those challenges as well because people might feel cornered or left out from social circles and office gossips. So HR is also very important in bridging those gaps and causing less friction amongst these generations by organizing events and things of that sort to build team collaboration. Then we have factors like eliminating cognitive biases or unconscious biases. So social stereotypes about certain groups of people that individuals form outside their own conscious awareness, and also cognitive biases like the horn effect. So that's a type of cognitive bias. For example, if you meet a new supervisor who's bald, you immediately recall a school teacher who bullied you and who mocked you. And also if you're having a bad day, you kind of look for the bad traits in people. So that sort of a thing. So the HR has a major role in understanding these cognitive biases and also keeping employees informed about the cognitive biases that they might not be even aware of. Then we have factors like hiring diversity professionals. So a lot of companies are looking into hiring diversity professionals to improve the DEI&B within their workplace. So things like holding and organizing educative sessions on diversity and inclusion, creating an inclusive culture, introducing new ideas to improve the diversity and inclusion in the workplace. Things like pushing for the use of inclusive language, managing complaints on harassment and workplace discrimination and things like that would be the responsibilities of these diversity professionals. And also increase transparency in organizational goals. So companies are setting transparent targets, goals, and DEI initiatives. Also, some companies are publicly disclosing factors like the gender pay gap so that customers know what's happening, and also customers can hold the companies accountable and create a better future for all of us. Then the greater focus on employee well-being and mental health. So employers are taking steps to promote well-being. So there's lots of focus on things like paid time off, mandatory vacation, and also some companies are giving women period leaves, childcare, and even some companies are going beyond that and giving you paid time off in case your pet dies as well. So we are seeing a lot of trends on employee well-being and mental health. Well, that's about it for Key Insight 4, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging in the HR industry. I'll see you on another lecture.